Hi, my name is Chris Vollmer. I'm a storage architect out of Canada.
And hello everyone, my name is Brian Sherman, a distinguished engineer with IBM Storage.
So one of the conversations we've been getting into a lot lately has been around where is NVMe going, where does NVMe fit, what does it do, how does it fit into the storage environment, how does it fit into my storage architecture. So Brian, I would say I'm seeing it a lot, you're probably seeing a lot around when NVMe fits. How do you start that kind of conversation around what's our plan for NVMe? Where do we go as I'm a customer starting to think about it? And what segments do I want to think about those segments on?
Yeah, and where NVMe fits is around performance and latency. So that's IOPS, megabytes per second bandwidth,
Yep.
and latency, as well as host CPU utilization benefits. And so it's the way I describe it. It gets into when we first introduced flash technology, and I got to reduce I/O wait times in CPUs. So workloads and enterprise workloads that needed lower latencies were in the same area of improvements again now with the NVMe protocol. And so it's those enterprise workloads, big data, AI, anything that needs more throughput, more IOPS, more parallelism. And so that's from a use case and different workloads to look at. Those same types of workloads we looked at with how do I exploit flash technology. Now it's the same type of workloads that we're looking at for NVMe as first exploiters.
Makes sense. One of the things that I was going to say is from where I'm seeing with customers is they're starting to look at NVMe in storage, but they're also starting to look at NVMe as a connection protocol. So if I can improve my performance in those use cases you were talking about by being able to make the same jump we made with flash a few years ago, there's some changes though they're going to have to see inside the network and as they get ready to go all the way down, right? We'll get some performance kicker immediately by using NVMe storage, but then there's the connectivity questions as well, I get.
Right, and it's one of those. So from the Spectrum Virtualized family, it's a complete end-to-end NVMe over Fibre Channel solution. So yeah, we've got the FlashCore modules with NVMe capability controller down to the FlashCore modules. The industry standard commodity NVMe drives is an option as well.
Yep.
And then from the host perspective, a few months ago we introduced the 32 gig adapters on the Flash System 9100,
yep.
the V7, the V5100, and there's a dramatic performance improvement in just going from 16 to 32, let alone adding on the capabilities of NVMe over Fibre Channel, and what we can do from latency, IOPS. Host CPU utilization benefits like 68% type of host utilization reduction with both 32 and NVMe over Fibre Channel.
So as we make that jump to 32 gig or even NVMe over Fibre Channel, same kind of suggestion, same kind of things we saw when we were doing flash 4 or 5 years ago. We're seeing all the CPU wait time get decreased. We're seeing that same jump again, meaning I can either put more load on the CPUs, I can run more jobs. Part of that's because eventually when we get all the way up in the stack and in NVMe over Fabric, so we'll be in an NVMe protocol, you'll be able to leverage more of the cores inside, and the cores will have their own wait times as well, right?
Right, and that's just part of the NVMe protocol is the parallelism.
Yeah.
So that's where the host benefits come from. Is now each core has its own submission queue and completion queue.
Yeah.
So it's not a serial process anymore.
Exactly.
So with NVMe built for flash and now the cores having their own queues, it's where I get the parallelism from. And we continue to roll out now that we've got ANA or multi-pathing support built into SLES to start and the others rolling out, that it is a viable solution for end-to-end NVMe capability. The hardware infrastructure is there. Certainly leverage for maximum leverage 32 gig SAN infrastructure as well, and with 32 gig on the host, some pretty significant benefits that we're seeing. Our Washington System Center, in partnership with Brocade, just completed some end-to-end performance testing, and we'll see an ESG paper being delivered right shortly.
Nice.
So it'll give you all the details behind what the infrastructure was and what we tested and what we did with Oracle and TPC and HammerDB and all that.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty exciting in terms of, we've been talking about the potential for NVMe, and now we've got some real numbers behind what we've been
oh, that's really good
saying
news
for
to
the
be able
last
to,
little while.
being able to quantify that. That's really good news.
Yeah.
The one thing I sometimes see people get tripped up is around that NVMe and end-to-end NVMe, and you touched on that a few minutes ago. So the end-to-end NVMe, what we'll hear in the conversation is sometimes just from the storage controller down into the drives and changing how the controller talks to the drives. But then we start to hear a little more end-to-end NVMe now that you can actually go up to ANA and have multipathing from the host all the way down, right? There's kind of that two distinctions I hear a lot of people getting tripped up around.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's when you hear us talking about end-to-end, that it is from host all the way down through the fabric, through the controllers at the back end. And part of the appeal for NVMe over Fibre Channel is the ease of migration.
Okay, yeah.
So any of our clients that are running SCSI over FCP today, the same HBAs on the host, same fabric infrastructure, same HBAs on the Spectrum Virtualized family can talk both NVMe protocol and the SCSI protocol on the same adapters. Different LUNs. Yeah, but
exactly.
So it makes for an easy migration. If somebody's doing something with SCSI over Fibre Channel today, unmap it and now remap it for NVMe, and away we go. And so it makes for a very easy migration.
Makes for an easy POC kind of introduction too, to start to say, okay, how do I start to play with this? Let me test it in a couple of different ways before I really put the big bang into production or really start to jump all my applications in there, right?
Right, absolutely. And so it makes it easy from a POC going, hey, here's a SCSI over Fibre Channel. Let's unmap it, remap it for NVMe, and you've got a direct side by side.
Yeah, so much easier to start to get benchmarking and see where the value might hit for your things.
Right, and what it means to each enterprise.
No, perfect. Thanks. My name is Chris Vollmer. I'm a storage architect out of Canada.
And Brian Sherman, Distinguished Engineer with IBM.